This will be the final video of part 2 and the last video before you start part 3. And part 3 is intended to be a pulling it all together moment for you guys to fly on your own and solve a problem of your own. But feel free to watch these videos and review what you've done in part 2 or part 1. I don't expect you to remember all the details. You are open to looking at your previous resources, and I don't even care if you guys talk to each other between other teams and help each other out with steps that you're trying to get through. I still strongly believe the more you talk to each other and help each other, the deeper the skills get reinforced. Okay, so I have here the blue dots are the crime 1 for region 1, and the green dots are what I thought of as my potentially dangerous crime. And I came up with assault with weapon, all the assault with weapon types of crimes, burglary in an occupied dwelling because someone might be home when the burglary takes place. Narcotic events often turn violent into shootings and other tragic ends, and assault, sexual assault, which is always a violent crime. So the that's what my cluster of green dots are, and I'm not going to do the kernel density for this part. I'll let you guys refer to the previous video on the crime 1 kernel density to get that done. But just looking at this, you can see these green dots are really clustered in this area. All these violent crimes, I really was surprised that they tend to be not just evenly dispersed everywhere. They tend to have a very strong pattern in certain areas, and it's probably because a lot of it is burglary. I'm just not sure until we analyze it, but it's interesting just to see it. All right, so I'm going to start at step 30, where it's about how safe is your neighborhood. And since I don't live in Reston, I'm going to use South Lakes High School as my address. And I've already opened up an Excel spreadsheet and put in my fake name and South Lakes Drive, Reston, Virginia. This is how you should set it up: name, address, city, state, zip code, and then save this as a CSV file. And we're going to save it into where our data goes so that it stays with our data. So save as, and I'm going to browse and to my desktop, and find my crime folder 2019, and I'll just leave it out here. Let it float out here. Give this a name. I'm just going to call it SLHS, but it could also be the name of my house or something like that. And this Excel workbook needs to be changed. We're going to save it to a comma delimited file, CSV comma delimited. There's several other types of it. Choose this one that says comma delimited. Okay, and then just save that there. And now we can close that. And you want to close it because if it's open in two applications, that can cause conflicts. So once we've saved it, close it in Excel so that Excel isn't open. Okay, and I'm going to go ahead and close this dangerous crime. Okay, I'm going to turn off crime 1 and leaving only the dangerous crimes. So it's time to geocode. And geocoding is a process that really just means address locating. In fact, the tool that we're going to use is called an address locator, which makes a whole lot more sense than geocoding, but that's what they call it. So to do geocoding, it's really simple. You bring in your table that you want to geocode. Something else to remember is that this table that we made with only our single address in it, that could have had thousands of addresses in it. If you have a rich database of customers, or let's say participants in some sort of an event, or whatever you need to document, even like locations of baseball players where they live to make sure they're playing in the right league and in the right team, whatever it is you want to do, you can do that with a spreadsheet. And all of those uh, all those addresses will be located with a single click. Okay, I'm going to refresh this. There it is. See, if you don't see the data table that you saved in there right away, just refresh the folder, and there it is. Okay, but this is just one address, which seems like a waste of time to create a spreadsheet just for that, but that's how it likes to run, because most of the time you would be geocoding large batches of addresses. So you add it to the current map, and it's down here at the bottom. Now, if you were to right click on this and try to geocode this table, notice there's a house next to it. It's a residence. When you right click on that, you want to try to geocode. When you click that, you see this tool with all of these steps. It's overkill. You just need to go down to the bottom and click Go to Tool. Now here's the part that's stopping a lot of students. When they go in here, they don't see anything. They can't even pull down this. There's not even a little arrow. They don't see anything for an input locator or address locator. And that's because they need to be signed in like I am. So make sure you remember your passwords and log in so that you can have access to this global ArcGIS global geocoding service. I'm actually charged credits to use it. It's a fee-based thing that businesses have access to if they pay for it, and we get it for free. I get lots of credits. So when you put this in, you'll know you've done it right when it says address, city, state, zip code, same as the spreadsheet that you just saved as a CSV. And we don't have to do anything else down here but run it. And we know that it's worked because it tells us that the geocoding is complete. 1 matched address, 0 unmatched. There are 0 tied addresses. The reason you might get some tied addresses is because it's a tall condo building and everybody has the same address. Or maybe someone has a different apartment number or letter, but apartment numbers and letters aren't included in the address, and so it looks like everybody lives at the same location, that sort of thing. And that's interesting. Average speed, the number of records per hour that it can read. But anyway, do we need to start a rematch process? No, because it matched. So we hit no. Okay. And now we got to find it. It is here, but let's give it another symbol. I'm going to pretend it's a house and give it a house symbol. So you click on the dot, bring up the symbology, go to gallery, type in house, and give your house a symbol that stands out from all the rest. Okay, and that's the first part of this. I'm going